I ask something? It was something you said earlier, and you looked really kind of intense about it. And I thought it
I'm
was,
an intense dude.
yeah. It was when you started talking about the mediocre minds and how they are, it made me think of the banality of evil and Hannah Arendt
Yeah,
and Adolf Eichmann, and it
yeah,
made
yeah.
me think of your experience in the colleges. And I think there is a real, arguably a rot that has been kind of supported and upheld by mediocre minds who refuse to kind of
Okay,
expand.
okay.
Yeah.
This is very, very, very important. I should have asked you about your audience before we talk. So I'm just gonna say this. So this movement is populated by extraordinarily mediocre minds. But you have to understand why that is. It's not that people who have mediocre minds happen to think that gender affirming care is a good thing. That's not the causal relationship. It's far more profound than that. In order to develop a thoughtful intellectual life and a rigorous epistemology, in order to develop cognitive and epistemological tools that will enable you, I don't want to frame this in terms of what's true or false, but will enable you to understand opposing arguments and debate well. A necessary precondition of that is that you need to know what those arguments are. Embedded in the nature of this ideology, and I have gone around the world and I've asked, I don't even know how many people who's a gender studies, I speak before colleges and universities all the time. Who's a gender studies major? Raise your hand. Have you ever read Martha Nussbaum's critique of Judith Butler? No, nobody. The ideology itself and the way that it's institutionalized in colleges of education, gender studies, anything with studies in universities, it doesn't allow people by design to look at opposing arguments. There's no apologia. There's no 1 Peter 3:15. There's no defense of the faith. There's no, but that's by design. And if
Yeah.
you, the worst Christian apologists, maybe not the worst, but among the worst of all Christian apologists, they know the arguments against their position and they have well rehearsed responses to those. And they have responses to the responses to those. This ideology by design does not allow, epistemological plumbing or looking at other ideas. The consequences of that, if you do that long enough, is you will do the opposite of what Stephen Covey calls sharpening the saw. You'll do the opposite of that. You'll dull your mind. You'll dull your intellect. In fact, if you do it long enough, not only will you dull your intellect, but you'll actually make yourself stupider, literally stupider. So that's why you can never have a great defender of trans issues. It's literally impossible. It literally cannot happen, because to do that, you have to know what the arguments on the other side are. And by design, the ideology, that's the kind of Maoist contamination.